Lexus catered to fans and enthusiasts when they announced that the V8 was coming back to the IS for the first time in 7 years. Rest in peace, ISF. But what if I told you Lexus could also be bringing back the LFA, and sooner than you would think? Over at Creative Trend, Japanese scoop site, rumor has it that Lexus has declined to develop the LCF and is developing the new LFA2 instead. Is it equipped with V8 twin turbo based on the FR platform? Guys, if you're excited about anything LFA, whether it's the old one or possibly a new one, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe so you don't miss me covering this in the near future. Hopefully we hear more about it in the near future, and from the sounds of it, we might be. And just remember to bring your salt shakers today if you haven't already. And if you remember last year, I was commenting that the LCF was likely canceled, and then just about a month ago when I was in Sebring, Lexus said, hey, we're recommitting to F. There will be more full F products coming, as well as F Sport performance models. So I thought maybe the LCF would be back on the table, but it looks like they're scrapping that for an LFA. I'm all for that. I'm raising my hand, Lexus, bring back the LFA, but what are they saying about it? The new platform of the LFA will be, and they're calling it the LFA2, will be more compact than the TNGA-L platform, and will be based on a new generation front engine rear wheel drive platform with further improvements. And they're saying it's not bespoke to the LFA, but apparently it's going to be the same platform they'll use on the new redesigned IS. And that will probably be 6 years, 5-6 years from now at the earliest. So we're talking 2026, 2027 or so from a new IS on this platform. That's not the case for this LFA in theory. And this isn't the first time we've heard Lexus not wanting to go with the TNGA-L platform. Apparently with the Crown, they don't want to make a new Crown, even though the current Crown is based on the TNGA-L platform. But the setup is just too wide, it's too big, it's too heavy for them, which seems pretty short-sighted for Lexus to have a newer platform that's already being discontinued. But it looks like they have better plans for the new IS and this LFA for the platform, and maybe the new Crown sedan if they ever give us a Crown sedan, because that's just been turned into the Crown Kluger in China. But let's get back to the LFA. They're saying that this new LFA will not be unprofitable like the original LFA was. They're saying the manufacturing cost of the original LFA per unit was 100 million yen, and they sold it for 37.5 million yen. I'll put what that is in US dollars, but essentially the original LFA cost about $1 million to produce, and they're only selling it for about $350,000. So don't expect them to lose money on this next one. They'll find a way to make it profitable. The engine is a V8 twin turbo, and this is going to come as a disappointment in theory because the V10 was straight from heaven. It sounded like nothing else on the road. It sounded like an F1 car. And the V8 twin turbo is going to be more powerful, have a lot more torque, but it's not going to be as rewarding and engaging and legendary as the Yamaha designed V10, but it is going to be faster. So we'll get to the spreadsheet after we go through all of this build up on the new LFA to kind of compare the old versus the new. Now they're saying that the new LFA is said to be given a minimum electrification technology such as a single motor type mild hybrid or a starter and generator motor rather than performance integration like we see on the NSX, for example. And this is in theory what's supposed to be coming for the it's kind of redesigned Nissan GTR. It's going to have some mild hybrid to it. They don't want to take too much away from the star of the show, which is a twin turbo engine in there. Now in terms of the design language, it'll have a spindle grille. Big surprise. It'll have a mesh pattern like the F Sport. Headlights will be a series of triple beam LED headlights or trinoculars, depending on where you live. Also, it could have blade scan, but blade scan's not available in the United States. They're saying the LED daytime running lights adopt a seamless design at the bottom and wide. For the face, it has a completely different atmosphere from the original LFA, and it has a rather dangerous look like the LS from a profound feeling and increased rigor. So for the body style, the two-door sports coupe has not changed, but the front nose has been lengthened and the rear has a short deck to create a front midship layout, and the cabin has been moved further rearward. So what comes to mind immediately is like the Mazda RX Vision concept. That's what it sounds like this vehicle is going to look like. Or the AMG GT, which sounds very, very similar. So they're looking to be like that Batmobile, sort of really long hood, the coupe in the very back, and a really short trunk, which I'm all for. I think the AMG GT looks super sick, and so does that Mazda RX Vision. They're saying the side mirrors have been abolished, but if it comes to America, they have to put side mirrors on it unless the laws change here. And they're saying that the door handle is a pop-up type, so I'm going to assume very similar to like the LC500s. They're talking about carbon fiber here in this paragraph and just kind of asking some questions. It could look a little bit like the Nürburgring LFA did. But what I'm thinking is that if it's going to be on a new platform and it's going to be shared with the IS and maybe a new RC as well, or an LC in the future, what I'm thinking is that there's going to be no carbon fiber tub like there was on the original LFA, and that'll keep costs down, but it's not in theory going to be as light unless they want to use carbon fiber for the door panels, the body panels, but I don't know if they're going to be able to give it that sort of extensive carbon fiber treatment. Again, it might just be too expensive. They want to make profit on this vehicle, unlike the original LFA, so I expect it to be lightweight, but not as lightweight as the original vehicle. They even have body dimensions of what they're expecting. So they're saying it's going to be a little bit shorter, 5 millimeters shorter, the same exact width, and it will be even taller, 2 centimeters taller than the old LFA. And they're saying the reason for this is that the engine position becomes higher due to the twin turbo engine. In addition, the mild hybrid may increase the weight of the car body. So even though it might be a little bit taller, who knows what the center of gravity is going to be like with all the intercoolers, turbos, and then the hybrid system as well. And they will be targeting, like I said, the Mercedes AMG GT, Jaguar F. I don't know, Jaguar doesn't even compete with this thing. BMW M8, I would say Porsche 911 as well, maybe even some of the higher specs of 911. They're saying the release date, guys, drumroll, holy cow, 2023, which they're saying is a long ways off. That is not a long ways off. That's 2 years from now. That's like in the near future. And they're saying the announcement could be in 2022. Guys, there's a lot of things in here that I want to believe. Just about everything in here I want to believe, but I'm going to hedge my expectations. I don't really expect a new LFA to come. And if it does come, praise God, praise the Lexus Takumi over there in Japan. I don't know. We want it to come. We want the new LFA to come more than just about any other Japanese sports car. So if it happens, amazing. If it doesn't, that's kind of where I'm putting my expectations so I don't hype myself unrealistically. Grab your snacks and drinks because we're heading to the spreadsheet. I just threw this together. What I think the LFA 2 could be compared to the original LFA. So the engines are very different. Naturally aspirated Glorious V10. 4.8 liters compared to the newer one, which would have the twin turbo V8 4-liter, which is supposed to be in a lot of different Lexus vehicles. All the upcoming F products, not just this LFA, possibly let's say the LF1 Limitless, if that ever comes out. So they would be able to use this engine in a ton of different products, kind of like how the Germans do it. They have their twin turbo V8s and they stick it in a lot of different vehicles. The V10 was a very exclusive, very purpose-built engine for one car. So profitability just on the engine side alone is total night and day, night and day. 6-speed single clutch for the LFA. I don't know what they would do for the LFA 2, to be honest. Lexus doesn't even have a dual clutch. I don't even know if Toyota has a dual clutch at all. So they would have to design a new transmission for it, possibly a 10-speed dual clutch. That's what I want the transmission that we have in the LC and the LS, but I want that to be faster shifting, to be a dual clutch. Don't think that's too big of a stretch, to be honest. Power. We would have 600 horsepower to 660 horsepower, maybe in that if they come out with a Nürburgring package like they did with the original LFA, which is not that big of a difference in terms of raw power, but when we're talking about torque, this thing is night and day difference in terms of pound-feet of torque. Now, do you really need this amount of torque when you have this many speeds? Probably not. I feel like the V10 could benefit from more cogs in the transmission than this new engine could, but hey, it's going to have that much torque because of forced induction. 0 to 60 in the low threes, my guess, for the LFA compared to the mid to upper threes for the original. Their Nürburgring time, don't expect to get a whole lot faster. 7:14 done by the Nürburgring LFA, was just super fast for the time, and the LFA2 just a little bit faster, maybe able to shave off a few more ticks there, and it would be all-wheel drive. I would be expecting Lexus finally unveiling an all-wheel drive system, a very sophisticated, very capable all-wheel drive system for all their F products in the future. Rest in peace rear-wheel drive. In terms of the F products, that's what I see coming. Price, we're going from over $350,000, something like that for the LFA. Who knows what they're going for on the secondhand market right now. Even on the new market, they're way more than $350,000 if you can find a new one. And then $200,000 is what I'm guessing for this new LFA. So in terms of weight, the original LFA was very lightweight, 3,559 pounds. It adds about 250 pounds is my guess, because we're not able to do the carbon fiber tub, because this platform will be shared with other Lexus products. Pros for the original LFA, well, I could go through a ton, but raw engine note, the exhaust, everything about it, the exclusivity, the legendary nature of it, and it would be lightweight compared to the affordable all-wheel drive and faster LFA2. And the cons for the original LFA, expensive, and you can't find a whole lot of them. While the cons for the new one, it would have a mild hybrid system, and it would be heavier as a result of having the mild hybrid system and not being able to use as much carbon fiber due to the cost-cutting nature of having a shared platform. But guys, I can't believe we're even having this conversation. I cannot believe Lexus could be even a rumor, guys. There even hasn't been hardly any rumors on an LFA reprise or return or a resurrection of an LFA in any shape or form. So the fact that we're even talking about this, guys, feels like Christmas morning to me. And I'll see you guys in the comments below. I don't know what else to say. Let's keep our fingers crossed that these rumors are real, and maybe in a couple of years from now, we could have a new LFA. Take care of yourselves, guys, and peace out.